Welcome to episode 280 of That Great Business Show. I am Conall Ó Móráin. Confession time. I do love local newspapers, especially, weirdly, the small ads. I cannot walk past them. Like this one here, the Dublin Gazette that I found here at the Dublin Dundrum town centre that we record in. Now, while national newspapers are having a torrid time, there is one part of print quietly going against that tide, and it is the local free paper. My guest today is Catherine Madden, Managing Director of the Dublin Gazette newspaper, Dublin's number one, she says, free weekly, reaching, believe it or not, 270,000 readers every week. And if you care about your area, this conversation does matter, because frequently you will have either a local newspaper or a free sheet. We're talking free sheets today. Stay with us. And as always, we are brought to you by our pals down in Mayo. De facto shaving oil made in Mayo. No foam, no nonsense, no filthy pressured cans going into landfill. Think about it. This goes straight onto your face and leaves it like a baby's bottom. Catherine Madden, welcome to That Great Business Show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is all of the above true? This is like an interrogation.
Most of it.
270,000, you're going against the tide, all is happy in the garden, and?
370,000.
So I got my numbers wrong originally. That's a terrible start.
I know.
And the other thing that I've just learned is, and I'm delighted to hear it, is you are a woman-owned business, as in there are two of you.
Yes.
Not you twice, but there are you and a partner, yeah?
Yes, myself and Mary.
Mary being?
Mary Lean. She invested in the business going back 18 years. So she's there an awful lot longer than I am. And yeah, she's an accountant. She has her finger on all the numbers.
Gives you a hard time?
Gives me a hard time, absolutely. Keeps increasing the targets and the budgets, but all good.
Now, talk about running a newspaper and a free sheet, because you are completely and absolutely dependent on advertising.
Yes.
And in particular, well, I won't say particular because you obviously got a bit much bigger ads than the small ads.
Yeah.
But I do love a small ad, and I was looking at your rates. Very affordable. You see the way I'm actually, this is a big ad for you.
I know, I'm thinking, do you want a job?
I think that I see that I could have an ad in for a week for about 150 quid.
Yeah.
And that's the starting rate. So I can actually beat you down there, because I know there's nothing fixed about those rates. Isn't that correct?
No. We always incentivize people to advertise for longer periods of time. So if you were doing kind of 4-8 weeks or something like that, we discount it back.
What works?
What works?
In advertising, because we are a small business podcast, and I love finding out things for people. They're all thinking probably social media. They probably all have got websites. Probably you need all of the above. But the small ads work, don't they?
They definitely do. They definitely do. And I also think, and you said it in the beginning about, when things are kind of challenging for the national papers now, but yet we're still, going well, which is great. I think people are picking up our paper because it's free. So like you say, you walk into the entrance of Dundrum Town Centre and it's so easily accessible. And the same way the whole way across the county. And
you're going for a coffee and you want something to read.
Exactly. And you don't want to kill your battery on your phone. Yeah.
So of those people who are picking them up, are they of a certain generation, or are the young people picking it up?
I think it's a mix. I think we have young families, and the reason that would be, I think, is we cover a lot of local sport. So if you heard that your son's football team or your daughter's football team were going to be in the paper, you'd pick it up and all their mums and dads would pick it up. And then they see, actually, it's quite an interesting paper and there's lots of really good content in it. So they become a fan and kind of support the paper. And then we'll still have what we call our active retired audience that have been with us for a long time. And, they love, as you say, the small ads, they love the crosswords and the word sleuths and all of that.
But you are also serving a very, very important social obligation or social service, because you are keeping an eye on councillors and planning permissions and odd things going on in our communities.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also give 4 pages to what we call local matters, which is really nice.
Which I also read, looking for something and some people that I probably don't even know. Just say, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Always looking at a business angle.
And they're completely free. So that's to, all the kind of community groups and anybody that's holding like a fundraiser or they're doing an event in the local school or whatever. And it's broken out by jurisdiction, so you can actually see what's going on in Balbriggan or Blackrock.
Now, that brings me neatly to, you have 4 editions, am I right? Or does it cover, do you try to get all within the one print run?
All within the one, yeah.
Because that is a challenge.
Yeah.
Because Fingal County, because it is a county, is absolutely different. You mentioned Blackrock to Dunleary Rathdown as well, yeah?
So way back, well, before my time, we were 7 papers. So you would have had the Dundrum Gazette, the Blanche Gazette, the Lucan Gazette. And then they brought it to 4, where it was 1 for each of the county council regions. And then when COVID hit us in 2020, we became the Dublin Gazette. So now we're just 1 paper serving the entire county.
And does that work? Or
I think so.
Would you have plans about expansion?
Well, it's really, really funny. I was talking with our editor, with PJ, yesterday.
PJ Cunningham, an old pal of mine, and I didn't know until about
now,
10 minutes ago that he is now your editor.
He's been with us for the last 4 years.
And he was with the Irish Independent seniors. He was a sports editor there, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
And we recently went down as far as Bray, and we're looking to go into Greystones. And PJ coincidentally lives in Bray. And he was saying it might be a good idea to bring out a Bray Gazette. Would we do something specific? Because they're quite protective over their area. They don't think they're Dublin and all of this type of thing.
They're like dogs, they're territorial.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And have you done that?
No, we're kind of thinking of the logistics of it at the moment, and does it make sense, or will we put in specific Bray pages maybe, or we might do a poll and ask our readers what they think.
Or you can ask people from from That Great Business Show, because you never know.
Absolutely, they know what they're talking about. Or we could put it out on South FM.
Now, if you have, you're trying to cover all of Dublin.
Yes.
That's a challenge, because now what happens in Balbriggan, I am not interested. Yes. I don't live there, etc. Yeah. How do you address that?
To be honest with you, I think we're really spread with our content. So we will do an awful lot, as you say, about what's going on in each of the county council regions and stuff like that. And they're really well labelled within the paper. So if it is something that's specific to Fingal, we'll label that. If it is your Dunleary Rathdown that you're interested in, you'll clearly see it. But we're very broad. We try not to be city-centric. We try not to be, in the hands of just purely Dunleary Rathdown, but we cover all. And
you are a free sheet, and that's very, very important, because the others who are trying to charge, it's getting harder and harder, and they have all given up giving their sales figures now.
There's only a couple of, well, certainly within the Dublin region. And I guess one of the biggest challenges that we have is trying to differentiate ourselves. I call us a free newspaper, and I don't think we're a free sheet. And then
you think the free sheet disparages you or something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just used the term because I think it's
and it is the way that people speak. Yeah. No, totally. Where to me a free sheet is a paper that's not of great quality, has a million ads in it and not very much content.
Okay.
Where I think that we're a newspaper with ads.
And but you are, therefore, you are...
But we are free.
You're free, but who are you competing against in Dublin? Are you?
I would consider ourselves to be probably competing against the likes of the Independent, maybe even the Herald, some of the local kind of smaller papers. If you were to ask my sales reps that are out on the road, they would probably say that we're competing against things like the People Group, the Northside People, Southside People. But when I put the two papers beside each other, I don't see any comparison.
Oh, fight and talk. you may live to regret that.
I know. Well, I do say there's room for us all.
Of course there is, yeah.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about strengths, weaknesses, challenges. What are the big challenges for you? Because I started at the very, very beginning asking who is reading newspapers besides you and me?
Yeah. The biggest challenges, I think, well, as you said, because we're a free newspaper, our only income is our advertising. And a lot of people who are looking to advertise don't seem to see the value in print anymore until you actually sit down and really explain it to them. And I think that's where the difference is. They think they can do everything on social media and it's cheap as chips. And
well, is it good news for you? And I'm going to get confused here.
Okay.
The fact that Google search is not throwing out as much as it used to, that is keeping it in-house.
Yes.
Is that to your benefit, that if Conall Ó Móráin, I'm a plumber or something, it's almost impossible to find me.
Yeah.
Whereas I pick this up and I find plumbers galore.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that work, or am I just talking your book, as we used to say in broking?
No, I think you're bang on. I think it's really, that is as simple as it is.
And are you seeing any pickup there? Is it getting any easier? Probably not.
I don't think it's getting easier, but I don't think it's going anywhere. Like I'll give my age away now, but I entered media almost 30 years ago. And
You were in sales at the very beginning of March.
yes, way back 98 in Buy and Sell, the free ads paper. Everybody at that point in time was saying, the days of print are gone. Nobody's reading newspapers anymore. It's all online. Everything's online. And it would make you think, and we missed the boat actually, as Buy and Sell missed the boat, because things that came on stream like Dundee and eBay and all of those should have been Buy and Sell. But we had that many meetings about a website that the boat had sailed. And
Sounds like a lot of other businesses.
Yeah. And then, as I say, we had missed it and that was the end of Buy and Sell. But here we are 30 years later and people are still picking up the paper. And I guess as you progress in your own life, so you subsequently go on to have children and you want your children to pick up books and you want your children to read, and everybody's going on about, sure, there's a Kindle and there's a tablet and there's this and there's that. But it's not the same.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And I think
you're preaching to the converted this side of the desk.
I think that's where people actually realise, no, there is still a market for print.
And how are you introducing new readers to it? You did mention the kids and their football and etc. Is that very, very conscious? Are you trying to find the biggest kids matches that you can cover and all that kind of?
Yes, and our sports editor would be really, really good at that type of thing. And then even getting our team, and I guess the younger demographic of our team who really, really get social media, to work on our Instagram page and our, TikTok and all of these types of things that I'm fairly clueless.
Which feeds into that, or which comes first now?
To me, the paper will always come first.
Yeah.
But
to them? To the younger people in the office?
Probably social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do they ever look at it and say, this is not going to last?
I don't think so.
Probably get a whack in the head of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We won't say that on air. But I think getting everything working together. So you have our paper, you have our website, you have our social media channels. And when we're talking to our advertisers, we're giving them that whole kind of 360 kind of a campaign where they'll feature across all of our platforms.
Oh, if I'm the plumber again and I take a 150 quid ad, even though it's cheaper,
yes.
Do I also get onto your social media for with that same ad?
So if he's happy for us to do something on our social media, absolutely. And he always goes on to our digital. So that automatically happens.
Now, you, as you say, you've been 3 decades in the industry, so you have lots of thoughts.
Yes.
Probably a lot of unsettled sleep. When you're looking at the broad picture, not at the Dublin Gazette, now, but in general, what do you think is going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years? By the end of this decade, the general consensus is that at least one of our national papers, you don't have to call out a name, but that it won't be going every day.
Yeah.
Is that what you see? Do you kind of concur?
I do. And I think the biggest thing, again, I guess looking at the nationals, is people mightn't necessarily want to go out and spend 3 or 4 years, I don't even know how much a national paper is, but to go out and spend that on the paper every single day. And now what they're doing is they're subscribing, so they're getting it online.
Yeah, which I do.
So automatically, that shift has already happened.
Yeah.
And then you hear people talking about things like AI and is that going to come and take over the world? And it's already creeping in and people are already using it nearly subconsciously without realising. So I think
I don't see AI moving in on the Dublin Gazette. Can it? Do you think it could? Or if I went on to ChatGPT and asked what happened on the under-14s and Ballybock or something, would that...
I'd hate to think that it would take away from good old school journalism, that, you have a journalist who's writing so well, and then can you just bring in somebody and just get them to write anything willy-nilly and throw it into ChatGPT and it becomes an article?
There are national newspapers that already do that, and it's trash.
Terrible.
It is, which actually demeans their product.
Yep.
So, and then those ads, I can't even read them anymore because, I'm beginning to sound like an alpha. Go back to the sports reporting here.
Yeah.
I presume that nothing could. I'm trying to think aloud now. I'm going to Johnny's or Mary's match in Ballybock.
Yeah.
It's very hard to replicate that online because you want to see, and Johnny Murphy or Mary Murphy, she played a blinder on the left corner or whatever. Yes.
And I guess what would happen is, and again, our journalists, we only have one sports editor, so he can't cover everything. So he might get to a couple of matches over a weekend and cover those, but then you'll have lots of other teams that are sending in their information. So they'll have
citizenship journalism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we approve of that as well.
Well, we approve of that, yes.
Yeah.
We want as much content and good, kind of credible content as we can get. And we'll put it into the paper and then we'll put it up as a story online. Wouldn't it be nice? And one of the things that we're looking at the moment is the redevelopment of our website to make it more like a newspaper as opposed to a website. And
which I much prefer. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
An e-reader, as it's called.
Absolutely. And that you can kind of scroll through the stories and all of that. But it would
You
also
flick
allow
that-
us...
Not scroll down, you flick across.
Flick across. I'm showing my age now. But you could also have really, really good video content.
Yeah.
So it would allow you to be able to do that and streaming and all of those lovely things that you can't do.
And is Commission a Man of any help to you? Because are they not supporting?
I'm hoping.
What are you hoping for? What might they give you, or what are
So
you
they
looking
had
for?
a whole series of funding that they put out last year. And we put in 3 applications.
For?
Local democracy and court reporting.
Now that's hugely important, isn't it?
Yeah. And especially in the communities that were...
'Cause nobody covers the courts anymore. There
no.
could be whatever going on in the community. Nobody knows about it
nobody
anymore.
has a clue.
Yeah.
So that was one.
And if you got that, or did you get that? You haven't heard
The
yet.
answer is coming out tomorrow.
How perfect timing.
Yes.
You will come back and tell us.
Commissioner Man, please listen to us.
Well, I think it's hugely important for democracy. We know what's going on in the States. It's nuts.
I know.
So we have to be careful as, keep an eye on things. So if you were to be successful, and I hope that you are,
yes,
what could you do with that? You get yourself a court reporter, basically.
Absolutely. We'll be able to invest in journalists, which will be great. And as I say, it's an industry that people find really, really hard to get work in and really hard to make a living from. So this would allow us to be able to support that industry, but equally it would allow us to be much more open with our reporting because we can increase our pagination. We've even talked about doing Irish pages, the Oscuelga.
2 thumbs up for that.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. Remember that.
Absolutely.
See, to be fair to the Indo, at times is not so good. The Indo's one is really top class, the Gaeilge pages. Yeah. So you have 2 other applications in with Commissioner Man for?
So we have the court reporting, we have the local democracy, and there was one, I think, which was specifically around news that would allow us to increase our pagination. And put in the Irish pages and all of that.
Oh, good.
So 3 applications in.
Good. Well, that would be a useful use of their money.
Yes. And I'm hoping that they see a free newspaper as somebody that they can support, as opposed to always thinking it has to be the paid newspapers, it has to be the nationals.
I couldn't imagine any argument against you. Now, go outside of Dublin. What are there other, I was going to say free sheets, free newspapers outside of Dublin?
Yeah.
And do you belong to an association, or do you get...
There was an association that was set up, FMI, which was Free Media Ireland, and it kind of fell apart a little bit. But there are, there's the Dundalk Democrat, I think. There's... that
they have free newspapers themselves.
Free newspaper, yeah. There's one down in Cork. There's the Limerick Leader. There's the Wicklow Times. There's a good few.
So you're not alone?
No.
But you are, as a group, in need of support.
Yeah. Somebody described us really well the other day. They said that you are actually a regional newspaper.
Well, you are.
You're just in Dublin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, in my head, it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
I hope it makes sense to other people as well. So looking at next year, 2 years, what will you do with the Gazette?
We will grow.
Will you? Now, by growing, assume that you're going to get some money from Commissioner Man.
Yeah.
Your court reporting is going to be bigger, better, brighter.
Yes.
So therefore, people will want to see what the neighbours are doing.
We'd like to see, at the moment, we're always, the minimum you'll ever see the paper is 32 pages. We do get up to 40. And then if there's a supplement, like our education supplement or something like that, it can push us up to 48 pages. It would be lovely to think that we could hold at 40 consistently.
40 means more advertising, does it?
It means more advertising, but it also means more content, more local content.
Of course, yeah.
I'd like to see us with a bigger team in the office so that we would have more journalists and, as you said, court reporters. I'd love people out there doing things like Vox Pop, talking to people in the community, streaming on our social media channels, really turning ourselves into a news house.
Which actually begs the question, will you end up as a radio TV station? And I'm not talking about RTE now, but isn't that kind of the future? It's this mixed media thing.
Yes.
Is that you'll be doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So you will actually, do you have studios actually at the moment?
We don't. We did look at it.
Okay.
And
Can I introduce you to Dublin South FM?
I'm loving Dublin South FM. I didn't even know it was here, and I'm very familiar with Dundrum Town Centre. Very
They
impressive.
are very open to, it's a community station, and
Which
you
is
are
lovely,
effectively
the community paper.
paper as well. So we may be able to affect some introductions there.
That would be lovely.
Now, we do have a final question. And you have already briefed me, not on the name, but you gave me some background. Do you want to go into the background of it? Because I think it was a very good answer. Who would you hire in a heartbeat? But give me, as you say, your initial thoughts.
This was such an amazing question because it got every cog in the brain turning.
Good.
And it opened conversations and debates. What came out of my mouth initially, people were saying, "Oh, Catherine, that's so boring. You can do much better than that." And why are you only thinking of men when you're women in business? And it was just great to get everybody's perspective on it. Millions of names went into the barrel. 2 names came out.
But there were 3 male names. I'm not going to name them for reasons that you explained.
Yes.
But they were some of our top business people.
Yes. They were people, I guess, that I looked at as really successful in business.
But they were
Marmite, men. And they were men. Marmite, you could love them or you could hate them. And
I think you hated most of them.
I probably did as individuals, but not as business people.
And they're all thinking now, who's she talking about? Who's she talking about? So who was your final pick? Or was there, you're allowed to have a couple of picks
I'll give
if you want.
2.
Please do.
So my first pick was Harry Crosby.
Okay. Interesting choice.
Yeah. Somebody who has been around for decades.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't like me saying that.
But he has
changed the landscape of Dublin phenomenally.
For those who don't know who Harry Crosby is, just go down to the IFSC and see what he's done down
Point
there.
Depot.
Point Depot.
Start at the Point Depot and work your way through
the
Convention Centre, Vicar Street, all the way down the Quays.
He also was in Antiques. Do you remember he used to do Antiques on the Late Late Show or something?
Yes.
What I love about his great successes. That was.
What I love about him is that he is forward thinking. He's way ahead of his time. He gave so much back to Dublin. We're actually plugging him at the moment that he should have the freedom of the city for so many different reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there is, I don't know what her first name is, but his wife, she is also a formidable business lady as well. She's got a lot of thoughts.
I don't know who his wife is. He was married twice, and I think his first wife passed.
Well, his
current wife.
Current wife was trying to get both a coffee shop and I think a flower shop and things going there, and they've had not for the first time some planning issues, but that's a different story.
That's a different
Harry
story.
Crosby, good choice.
So,
and I think in 5.5 years you're the first person to mention Harry.
My personal story on him, I guess, and why I liked him is he gives so much to the arts. And my mum, God love her, she was 96 when she passed a couple of years ago, but she was an artist. And she would have submitted paintings every year to the RHA. And really, really difficult to get into because they're inundated with millions and millions of paintings. And great work gets turned away. Harry set up a business on Francis Street called the Bad Art Gallery. And his people
already.
Yeah, his people were standing outside talking to all of the people that were going completely dejected that their painting had been returned. And he would take them in to the Bad Art Gallery and allow them to sell them from there. And it was fantastic.
That's a clever
And my
idea.
second one, and it was only just because she's so much in the news at the moment, was Jessie Buckley.
Okay, well, do you know what? I hadn't heard of her at all until her massive success.
Yeah.
So I don't know, does that say a lot about me? I should have
No,
known.
I don't think so. I only knew her
brilliant.
because back in my hot press days, she appeared on a front cover for Best of Ireland. But I guess as a woman, she's empowering. And she's seen the good in life, the bad in life, but she's always upbeat. She's always, kind of spurring women on to be successful and to do the best that they possibly can. And I think the story that came out of where we were going with the 3 initial people and all of that is to be successful, you don't necessarily have to be wealthy. And there are so many people out there who have started with nothing, fallen into a hole, had a terrible, terrible time of it and turned their lives around. And that in itself is success. They don't have to have millions in the bank. But it helps.
But Jessie Buckley's going to be huge. I mean,
she's going to be massive.
Enormous.
Yes.
And hopefully she'll get her.
She'll bring it home.
She'll bring the awards. She's got one anyway, but more to come.
More to come.
And she's still only starting out.
Yes.
So it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's cool. Anything that, final question, I always have a final question, anything that that great business show audience could do for you besides spur on, commission a man? You will know before we go out, so that's not good to you. But I presume pick it up. Where do you,
100%.
I mean, besides here in Dundrum, where are your best
Every
distribution?
supermarket you can think of. So
They
all
will
of
allow you in all your
Aldi's,
Lidls, your Aldi's,
Lidl's,
your
Dunn
Tesco's.
Stores, Tesco's, Super Value.
Anybody who's causing you any trouble that we can help with? Anybody who's not doing their bit to support you?
Other newspapers that find us a threat, we're not. There's room for everybody.
They don't remove you or anything.
Leave our stands where they are.
Oh, you foul people. I know.
Yes.
Elbows up.
Yes.
We
haven't touched your stands. Leave ours alone.
I had somebody on from Keelings, the fruit people, about 1 or 2 years ago, and it was a she, and she told me all the dirty tricks about moving people's fruit in the middle of the night. Or was she also, I can't remember, maybe she was talking about dairy product as well, that suddenly a whole rack of dairy would disappear, oddly.
Yes. Yeah.
So, it's called business, is it?
I know. I hope not.
Okay. That was Catherine Madden, and thank you so much for joining us on
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're finally coming up. You were invited a couple of months ago, weren't you?
I know, yeah.
Chased you, but we got you.
Delighted.
And I'm delighted to have you. That was episode 280 of That Great Business Show. And if you care about your community, if you advertise locally, or if you've ever wondered who's minding the shop, keeping an eye on something dodgy that the local politicians may or may not be doing, dubious planning permissions, or other funny business, this is a conversation worth sharing, because these free newspapers, not free sheets, they are keeping an eye on what's going on, more so than the Nationals, who just are maybe a little bit removed. So my many thanks, as always, to our sponsor, De Facto Shaving Oil, made in Mayo, sold worldwide, and a gentle reminder that not everything good needs to come out of a pressurised can. Just to tell you again, those pressurised cans are deemed to be hazardous waste, and they go into landfill every millions and millions of them. Terrible. And a huge thank you, as usual, to the brilliant team here at Dublin South FM, Peter Rice, Neil Horner, Richard Ryan, Lee Brennan, and the lads who make us all sound far more polished than we actually are. From me, Conall Ó Móráin, Gurv Mína Mágav, as Ishtach Lynn, agus Tour Aradi Féin, agus Slán Gafón.